Hey guys, what's up? This is Bharat, and today we're going to be checking out gaming benchmarks, the camera, and a bunch of other things on the new Moto G5. So let's get started. A lot of people seem to be confused between the G5 and the G5 Plus. The G5 is a new variant of the Moto G5th generation. The G5 has been launched on 4th of April 2017 and is a smaller and less powerful variant when compared to the G5 Plus. So I'll quickly do a run over of the specifications for all of those people who are confused. So this phone runs on the Qualcomm Snapdragon 430 chipset with the Adreno 505 GPU. Now the chipset is quite dated and it's comparatively less powerful when you compare it to the Moto G5 Plus, which does have a 625 chipset on there, which works really well as far as performance, gaming, and all of those things are concerned. The phone is available with 3GB of RAM and 16GB of onboard storage, and you can pop in a micro SD card up to 128GB in a dedicated slot, which stays different from your two SIM card slots, which do support VoLTE as well, 4G plus 4G, and do have VoLTE support. Now, the battery on this phone is an interchangeable battery because the back panel is removable, and you have a 2800 mAh battery on the inside. The device does run Android 7 out of the box, and you do get Google Assistant once you do update your Google Play Store and Google apps on the device. Now the phone has been launched for 11,999 rupees, but the price of 11,999 is not really the price of the phone. So if you use the Amazon Pay balance to pay for the device, you get about 1,000 rupees off. And then when you use HDFC bank credit card, you get 1,000 rupees cash back. If you do exchange your old smartphone, which I don't think is a smart thing to do, you do get 500 rupees off extra on the value of the phone. So essentially you can get up to 2,500 rupees off. If you buy from a specific seller, you get a micro SD card of 16GB, which is about a 300-400 rupee value. Every 10th customer gets in-ear headphones, Sennheiser CX180. Combine all of these offers and price comes down from 12,000 rupees directly to 9,500 rupees, reducing the cost of the phone considerably. Now at 9,500 rupees, it goes up against the Redmi Note 4, some of the other phones in that price bracket that do offer up Qualcomm Snapdragon chipsets with a whole host of value. Will this fit in and will this compete against all of those things? We'll find out when we do a full review of the Moto G5, but in this video we're going to be checking out some gaming. So let's get started with that. The first game we decided to play, Asphalt 8. Now we've ensured that Asphalt 8 was running at full graphics, and again the overall gaming experience was quite surprising. The game played without any lag or stutter. We got really good feedback from the gaming experience. Now the forward firing speaker could have been much louder, and I'm not at all satisfied with the sound that comes from the speaker. So if you're going to be doing a lot of gaming or watching video, I would recommend getting an external speaker or some really nice headphones. The display is a 1920 by 1080p display, which is nice and responsive. You do get a resolution of 441 pixels per inch. Here's a bit of the gameplay. Now, as far as benchmarks are concerned, the device gave us a result which we were exactly expecting, so about 28 to 30,000 on Antutu, whereas some other benchmark applications gave a similar result. Day-to-day usage seems to be fast and fluid thanks to Android 7 on the device, which also allows you to do things like multi-window out of the box. If you're jumping between applications using multi-window or even multitasking on the device, it seems to hold its own, surprisingly enough. Let's talk a little bit about the cameras. So over at the back is a main 13 megapixel camera that does have an f2.0 aperture. As far as the photographs are concerned, in bright daylight on auto mode, the images came out really well. And we're quite surprised that it managed to compensate the exposure of bright sunlight and give us some really good results. Even in macro, we got some really good results. Now the 13 megapixel camera in no way compares to the Moto G5 Plus as far as details and the amount of color and light that is captured by the phone. But the 13 megapixel camera on the G5 is pretty good as well. As an example, if you look at this picture, which was one was shot with flash and one was shot without flash in extremely low light conditions, we found that the one shot without flashlight turned out to be better in terms of the overall image. But if you want some more sharpness, the one with the flashlight does give you more sharpness. The phone only captures 1080p video using the main camera. The video quality is average at best, and you do not get any form of stabilization. So if you're comparing it with the Moto G5 Plus, which does shoot 4K video, the difference is quite a lot. The front-facing camera is a wide-angle camera, so you do get a lot more detail. If you're clicking selfies, you can get a whole lot more in the front-facing camera's image. It is a 5-megapixel camera with an f2.2 aperture, so not so great in terms of low light performance, but does give you a pretty decent picture. Again, the camera application is more or less stock, so not a whole lot of customizations done there. Interestingly enough, Moto also gives the Pro mode on the front-facing camera, which allows you to customize certain things before you capture an image. And the front camera also captures 1080p video, which does crop in to the frame a little bit. So if you're interested in capturing 1080p video, you'll get those features from the front camera as well. Okay, so this is a test of the front-facing camera of the Moto G5. It only records 1080p video, and like there is no image stabilization, but you can focus and you can increase and decrease brightness while recording, so that is definitely good. And I can also capture images while recording video, so that can also come in handy for a lot of people. Now if we put it up right against the Redmi Note 4, the Note 4 does manage to get out better results in terms of performance, in terms of the camera capture capability, as well as in terms of the battery life, where this phone only has a 2800 mAh battery life. The Redmi Note 4 does get a 4100 mAh battery. So if you're competing as far as specs are concerned, the Redmi Note 4 definitely looks better as far as specifications and the kind of things that you will get from the device. The only difference is you'll have to wait to purchase the Redmi Note 4 on the sale day, whereas the Moto G5 is available right now. Also, the fact that the back panel is removable is somewhat good for a 10,000 rupees phone, I feel. The fact that you can replace your batteries if they seem to die out. If you're thinking or hoping to keep this phone for a couple of years, having a removable and replaceable battery will definitely come in handy. Whether you use that feature or not is something that you'll have to decide. Now, we will be doing a full review of the Moto G5 in the coming days. So if you have any specific questions or queries, you can drop them in the comment section below, and I'll make sure that I can answer most of them in the final review. If you liked our content, make sure to smash that like button and also hit that subscribe button along with the bell icon to get notified each time we upload a new video. Be sure to visit us on iGyaan.in, catch us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. This has been Bharat Nagpal. I'll see you guys in the next one.